Hello there, this is David from David Books and Comics, and today we're going to look at two series publications by a company called Manor Books. Now, Manor Books was a short-lived publishing company that started business back in 1972 and ended a scant 9 years later in 1981. The company was started by a guy named Walter Wiedenbaum. They published mostly these thriller books and men's action-adventure books. Wiedenbaum was also instrumental in helping the start of the Pinnacle paperback company. So he was an expert on men's action-adventure novels. Anyway, Manor Books started this short-lived company and started publishing first these martial arts novels, and among others, they did the Liu King novels by Rosenberger, and they did the Mondo books. Now, this series features Mondo, who's a Sicilian, committed to this typical familial code of honor. It's a violent series that starts off when Mondo's son is murdered by an assassin named Chan Ho Lee. The series is similar to in its revenge theme to the King Kung Fu series. Mondo is assisted in his adventures by his sensei, and in the novels he's inexplicably called a sensei, S-C-N-S-I. His name is Kisaka. It is Kisaka who trains Mondo in the intricacies of martial arts. Kisaka and Mondo bears a lot of comparison to the Japanese Street Fighter series with Sonny Chiba. On the covers of the novels, Mondo is usually depicted with his katana in his hands. So we're going to do a deep dive through the first it's a 3-book series, and we'll look at their covers are, I'm not sure who the artist is. He did sign his name, so I'll show you one of the books has his signature that we'll see prominently. But we'll look through the first book. This is Mondo by Anthony DiStefano. And Anthony DiStefano is two writers, John S. Little and Anthony John, writing under the name Anthony DiStefano. And in Manor Books, they published more than just the Mondo books. So we'll look and see. This is a nice copy, very fine copy. This was published in 1975. You see there, Manor Books, 432 Park Avenue South in New York City. All right, you can look at the lettering. It's kind of it's a paperback. So they stole his woman, killed his son, and condemned him to a living hell. They should have finished him when they had a chance. Mondo, man of violence. All right, so that's the first book in the series. And the second book is this. It's called Cocaine Kill, as by, you see there, Anthony DiStefano. Tough and explosive. I liked it. Robin Moore. And the reason why Robin Moore's byline is there is because he also published a couple of books in Manor Books. All right, so this is another very fine copy. It's published in 1977. All right, paperback original first edition. Nice tight copy. And at the blurb, Mondo is at war with the world, fiercely alienated, coal-black eyes that reflect anger boiling within, a breath away from exploding. There is a tenseness about the tough, hard-minded man that sets him apart. Mondo, man of violence. So that's number 2 in the series. That's a nice cover. And this is the third book in the series. This one is A Minute to Pray A Second to Die, and this one is signed, and it looks like, I don't know, Bob Larn or Larkin, Boblarnn. I'm not sure who the artist is. And so this is Mondo 1, Mondo 2. This is the third book in the series. 3-book series. Alright, copyright 1977. And there you go. So Mondo's adopted father, Masataki Kisaka, is marked for assassination. All hell breaks loose. Alright, so it's a nice series of books. Lots of action. And always with the great martial arts theme. I think it bears a lot of resemblance to the Street Fighter movies with Sonny Chiba. Anyway, so those are those three. An excellent series of books published by Manor. Or I should say a more collectible series of books by the publisher. And I'll show you their more famous series. Alright, so the next series is, of course, the Mace Kung Fu series. And the main character in the novels are Victor Mace. And there's a total of 8 novels. And you get to see all of them. We'll do a deep dive through all of them so you can enjoy what they're like with me. So the main character in their novel is Victor Mace, a quiet, soft-spoken man who enters into his martial arts action with near superhuman kung fu ability. You really see that in the first novel especially. Mace is also a son of a Chinese mother and American father. In the first novel, Mace virtually explodes into action with more speed than an electric speed train. The writer is Joseph Rosenberger, whose phenomenal success with his other action-adventure series Death Merchant was well suited to this new genre of kung fu fiction. Mace's adventures have a very few supporting characters, and that is mainly because of Mace's complete self-reliance on his own fighting abilities. Rosenberger's prose in the novels moves with speed. For example, here's some of the text of the book. Mace exploded over him with all the ferocity of a spreading cancer. Or when a well-meaning detective thought that he would give Mace aid with a group of attackers, Rosenberger writes, Mace needed about as much help as the Sahara Desert needs sand. The prose is over the top, but very, very fun to read. Rosenberger has a wry sense of humor and an ability to fit the prose to the fast-paced action. The villains are literally bereft of human sympathy, which helps the reader to focus on the main character and the main character's abilities. Kung Fu and martial arts movements are described with effective detail, coupled with their names, usually in Japanese. Alright? For Kung Fu is the Chinese martial arts, but for whatever reason it's all written in Japanese. Alright, so I'll show you the books in the series. This one's a lot of fun to read. The first one is called Year of the Tiger. And this one has a slight spine roll. And copyright is 1973. Know yourself and ride a tiger, unable to stay on and afraid to get off. Alright. And there's chapter 1. A big score of H on the high seas. But the San Francisco Mafia needed a respectable boat to make the transfer. Holy Wing and his fishing vessel, Dragonwind, were picked. Too bad they didn't realize Wing had a visitor from Hong Kong, his Eurasian nephew, Mace, who was a kung fu master. There you go. get a sample of his over-the-top prose. This is book number 2, Kung Fu Mace, Year of the Snake. And this is the actual first book I ever bought in this series. When I was, well, I bought it off the shelf, so it gives you an indication. Yeah, so I was still a teenager when I bought this. Alright. Chinatown exploded with violence. Youth gangs ran wild. I'm not sure who the cover artist is, but they're nice covers. Action orient. This one is a kind of a simplistic cover. This is number 3 in the series, The Year of the Rat. And there he's wearing a Japanese, what they call a Japanese gi. And it's supposed to be Kung Fu. So, third action-packed adventure of the first Kung Fu series in print. It was an early series in print. It was back in 73. So this one was published in 1974, the third book in the series, Year of the Rat. And this is book number 4. And this is the best copy I have of this one. Due for an upgrade. It's published in 1974. And what do we have here? And Li Chang, of course, is Joseph Rosenberger, as I said. And it says, the dragon has played an important role in Chinese mythology. The different categories of the dragons were heavenly, earthly, treasure-guarding, spiritual, and imperial. The dragon style of Hungar Kung Fu was patterned after the powerful yet flexible serpents that emerged from the sea and roamed about in a flowing, twisting manner. One of the Kung Fu techniques was formed after a dragon thrashing its tails and claws. Another technique was formed after a stream of fireballs emitting from the dragon's mouth. Interesting. So there you go. And there's your cigarette ad. Can you imagine? Oh my God, those cigarettes. Not exactly healthy for you. Anyway, so that's Year of the Dragon. This is number 5, Year of the Horse. Mace can break a man's bones, it says. With a kick, destroy his face with a punch, and kill without regret. So, I don't know who the artist is. Fortunately, they don't say. This is from 1974. Yeah, this is funny. Anyway, that's number 5. Iron Hand of Vengeance. And this one is Li Chang. Number 5. Number 6 in the series is The Year of the Boar. Like Kung Fu itself, Mace is silent, vicious, always deadly. Now this book was written by Len Levinson. This one, writing as Li Chang. Okay, it's The Year of the Boar. Like Kung Fu itself, Mace is silent, vicious, and deadly. The copyright is 1975. And this one is written by a mystery novelist named Bruce Cassidy, writing as C.K. Fong. And this is The Year of the Cock. Mace can attack with lightning speed, maim with a glancing blow, and kill with brutal efficiency. Alright. This is the story of Mace, a Kung Fu master who has sworn to use his secret and deadly art against a multitude of enemies who prey upon the weak. And as the Shaolin proverb says, heaven help those whom he deems justified to fight. Alright. This is copyright 1975 in Manor Books. And this is the last book in the series. It's called The Year of the Ape. And again, this is by a writer named Bruce Cassidy. And what do we got? Yeah. Copyright 1975. Power of the Sword. With a blinding combination of speed and power, Mace practiced the intricate moves of the Kung Fu sword kata The blade cut bold, powerful strokes through the air, each blow designed to slice an opponent in half. There you go. The Year of the Ape. Alright, so these are the now rare Manor books. 2 series of martial arts. One Mondo, and the other one the Kung Fu Mace series, one of the first, if not the first, of the Mace series paperbacks. So I hope you enjoyed this. And sorry, one of the first Kung Fu paperbacks that feature martial arts is prominently here in the West anyway. Martial arts fiction, of course, was more ancient and widely spread in the Chinese-speaking diaspora. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the Kung Fu Mace series. And if you did, remember the comments are always appreciated. Thanks everyone for your subscriptions, and share the video with anyone if you like. Okay, thanks, bye.